Well, it is 12:57 Eastern Time, and I've probably been here a good 38 minutes according to my clock. Sorry. Holding the left side of my phone. Often I end up giving people the finger, or part of one. And they're unloading me right now, and then I'll get a new load. I wasn't expecting to actually deliver this load until tomorrow. And on my way, I was going, during my fuel stop, I was going to send a message and see if I could deliver today. But before I could do that, I got a message that came across my OmniTrax that said, hey, if you want to deliver today, if you get there before 1:30, you can. And I was like, all right. That saves me the trouble of having to make a message or a phone call. I probably haven't done this in a while. If any of my videos have helped you determine to go with Maverick Transportation, I'd appreciate it if you'd give my name as the referral, if my videos were the reason you decided to go with Maverick. Now, if you've already decided to go with Maverick and you just found my videos and you still wanted to call in and say, hey, can I put Dale Clay down as a referral? You know, you can do that, right? I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying you can. When I initially showed up here, I pulled into, let's see if I can find it, this alleyway right there. If you follow it to the end, I tried to turn in there, but I wasn't going to make the turn. Halfway through, I realized, you know what, there's piles of steel, and then there's those cars right there. It was just too tight of a turn, so I backed out onto the street. And you can see where that other Maverick truck is, and I came down this area and untarped in a dry area over there, turned around, and now I'm being unloaded by that forklift in front of me. And there is if you look in the mirror there, another Maverick truck waiting to be unloaded. So they make some kind of parts in this place because parts is in their name. I've only got 4 hours and 51 minutes left in my day, and it's 1 o'clock. So, I mean, of course, I started really early. Eastern time. So, I mean, as far as the Central time is concerned, I think I started around 4 something. And so, which I like, because when I head back to Central time, I'll be used to an earlier time getting up and finishing earlier. I always like finishing earlier because parking is easier. I was going to throw on the GoPro on top of my helmet and show how to fold up a steel tarp, but I was under the impression they were unloading quickly, and so I was going to show how to fold up a technique for folding up a steel tarp, though there are many ways to do it, and then my way isn't necessarily the best way. It is just a way that some people have been interested in. So why talk about it? I don't know. I didn't show it. It's like a teaser, you know. I think I have like 6 more stacks of steel on my deck, and they unload them one bundle at a time. So in about 2 days I'll be unloaded and ready to go. We'll see what we get next. Okay, that's where I was. Then I pulled forward to this area right here and backed in. That truck wasn't there. I backed in over there to be out of the way. Another Maverick truck got unloaded. He left. I'm assuming they got assignments. And I'm assuming, I can only assume right now that, well, let me continue with that truck pulled in and then said, hey, there's a bunch of people that are going to be switching shifts, and they park right along there. So here I was trying to be parked out of the way. And so I ended up coming across the street here, and there's a big parking lot. And I don't know if it's necessarily part of their establishment. It probably isn't. But there's like a gate behind me that looks like it never gets opened. So, but if it does, I'll move again. I'm just waiting for an assignment so I know what direction to head. I hate heading out without an assignment. Because if I go the wrong direction, let's say just to go hang out at a truck stop, if it's in the opposite direction of where my assignment is, all those miles are out of route miles, and I don't like that. I like keep in mind minimum. So, but they said they're working on something. Plus I get paranoid that OmniTrax isn't working. It's funny that they have this entire industry relying on these electronic devices, but you can't really have complete faith in them. There have been times where I've sat there and you know, on a rare occasion where I'm having to wait. Usually if I'm waiting over 15 minutes, then I'm like, okay, is there a problem? Is OmniTrax down? Or is it they just don't have loads? So I ended up calling it about, time passes, 45 minutes to an hour. I'm like, is OmniTrax down? Yes. It's like, okay, so I should have... So I have gotten one load assignment over the phone, actually, because that's how bad OmniTrax was. So now, as soon as I'm parked for like 30 minutes, after I've emptied my trailer, I send in a message on the OmniTrax saying, hey, this is just a message to verify OmniTrax is not broken. Then they message me back to let me know it's not, so therefore I know. Even though I send my empty call and then I get a message saying, hey, yeah, we got your empty call, we're working on a new load assignment. That is a generic message sent by the system. It doesn't necessarily confirm to me that the people that make the decision on giving me a load assignment actually see the information that I'm empty. Because it's a big network, so I mean, any portion of it could be inoperable. So I try to verify the least intrusive way I can think of. So I just send a message on the OmniTrax, and they let me know. Yeah, they're working on it. So I think what their plan is they're going to give me a load that picks up tomorrow. I was going to go to a truck stop 15 miles from here, but I don't know if it's necessarily in the direction of wherever they may send me. I don't know what this place is. I want to say it looks like a school, but a bunch of people come out that look really young, hang out there at those tables, and they, light up their tobacco products. And so I'm not sure if it's a school or some kind of business. I will know once I leave here as I look at it. But this is that stoplight. I turned right there to come down this road, and it's a very tight turn and a very narrow road. So, and you can tell that because the corner of the sidewalk right in this area is nothing but tire tracks. It's like many people have turned tightly at that location. So now I just sit here and wait to find out what I'll be picking up tomorrow. I'm just grateful I got to unload today and then be prepared for tomorrow. I'm hoping it's something that heads back, that's heading west. This load was the total on this load that I just completed. I need to update my records. This was a 1,146 mile load, and I completed it a day early, so I'm happy about that. And it's only Wednesday afternoon. I still got 2.5 days to go. I may not have much to do today, so we shall see.
Looks like Sammy up there, maybe. It's like, who?
People, CBs aren't made for stories. Let's see. So it's it's Wednesday afternoon. I've done 1,600 miles already. So if I repeat this to get home, it'll be a over 3,000 mile week. But I have a feeling it's probably going to be slightly less than that. So every week is slightly different. That's the, I guess what I would say is a downside of over-the-road trucking. I guess if I had a dedicated route and knew how many miles I was going to get every week, then I can have a consistent paycheck, and it'd be more of a positive. But since you have an inconsistent mileage every week, your paycheck varies. And I know I've talked about this before, but it's hard to plan for specific bills when you don't know. It makes you more conservative down the line, because you have to, I guess for the average truck driver, they have to, there's trucks honking into each other. I was just looking at them to see if they're going to be turning down this way, because if they do, I'll have to move. But anyway, you have to be mindful to be conservative in your paycheck, in the sense that you have to wait for the averages to catch up. Because yeah, you may get low miles one week, but you'll get a lot of miles, a following week, and it all averages out over the long run. But we don't pay our bills sporadically. We pay them, regularly. Most people do. So in an effort to make sure you're paying your bills consistently, you have to be more conservative with all your money until you actually, if that makes sense. So I feel that would be it'd be on the negative side of trucking, but it's something you learn to, I guess, live with. But that's it for now. We'll see what kind of assignment I get, and maybe I'll get lucky and have to move like 1 or 2 more times before I get that. All right, it is still Thursday, and I have 3 hours and 49 minutes left on my clock. I went inside, cleaned up, took a shower, and while I was finishing up, I got a phone call from my fleet manager. I guess I need to go rescue someone to pick up a load that needs to be delivered in Virginia tomorrow. And I'm waiting for the information to come across right now. But I also had an opportunity to discuss a pet peeve of mine. Okay, so there's this completely... So here, see the lines on the ground? Those are parking spaces. If you see this anonymous truck in front of me, it's from some anonymous trucking company. I don't know who it belongs to, but there are no lines painted there. So fortunately for me, they're far enough forward I'll be able to pull to the left, but I really need to pull to the right because I need to get DEF. Because the place where I fueled at on the way down here did not have it available. And that was at a Flying J. I think it was an older one. So sometimes that rarely happens where I have to get DEF and it's not there. So I have to all right, I guess I got to make an extra fuel stop to fill up on DEF. But I do carry DEF in my truck in a box in case it gets really bad. But as soon as I get my information, then I can pull out and try to get around this anonymous truck. It's parked in the third position is what I would call it, because there's a truck on the other side of that, and on the other side of that truck is an empty space where another truck was parked. So you got to be careful at some of these truck stops, because you could put yourself in what you consider a safe spot. You're like, all right, I'll park here, I'll go through the trouble of parking here because gives me good access to get out. Well, lo and behold, trucks park in front of you, and I'm sure it's just temporary, but I mean, obviously it's not a flatbed, because flatbedders, we're not that lazy to where we can't park in a spot. Happens to be a non-flatbed truck driver. Anyway, that's my pet peeve for today. Now, I'm not saying I don't take if it was me, I'd be parking next to the curb where it says no parking. So, yeah, they avoided the no parking signs by parking where there are no signs over there that say no parking. So it must be okay to park there, right? Yeah. So, but I am saying I have parked next to fuel islands. I mean, on the other side of where these trucks are parked is the scales. And I had parked next to a scale before, ran inside, grabbed a fuel ticket or grabbed something to eat or something to drink. But I wasn't blocking anybody's parking spaces that needed to get out. I'm too self-conscious about that I'm totally anti-conflict type of person, so I do my best to, when I park, it's like, okay, I'm not blocking anybody, I'm not going to inconvenience somebody. If it does even appear that way, I go talk to them, say, hey, am I blocking you? You going to be getting out of here anytime soon? It's just common courtesy. Now, this anonymous trucking company right here may have tried to communicate with my truck to see if I'd be leaving, but I wasn't here. I was inside using the facilities. So I just thought that to be mindful of. This is the kind of thing that makes me learn to park further down that way where there were empty spots. But I thought, here I am. There's only 2 spots to the right of me, and there's an empty spot to the left and none to the right anymore. That was empty when I pulled in. He must have pulled in prior to those anonymous trucks showing up. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to really back in very easily at this location. In fact, there was one truck parked there in the 3rd spot all the way over. And I was like, you know what? It's going to be tight, but I'll get it in here. With those trucks parked the way they were, I would have had to go park somewhere else. These spots would have been somewhat useless unless I was really desperate. So desperate that I'd turn my truck around and park. Because I did this blind side. If I had to park in this spot, I would have had to do it with the driver's side to the space. Anyway. I'm kind of surprised that I don't have my message to go rescue this truck yet, because they called me and it was about, 5 minutes ago. So usually if they're coordinating that kind of thing, they call right away. Maybe things are changing. It's up to the minute. It changes faster than the weather with these work assignments. So I could end up not going, but I won't count those chickens, because I'm probably going to save this truck driver. I've done it many times before. They say it's going to Virginia, so I feel like I got to sneeze. This is Pennsylvania, near Harrisburg. See, you only get 2 of them because I have to turn it off after that to avoid the 3rd one. So hopefully it's in a, this is really going to put in jeopardy me getting home on Friday. I was talking to my wife earlier. I was like, you know what would be funny? See, look at Mr. Anonymous is pulling out, and then there's another anonymous truck pulling in to be like, hey, there's an open spot. I'll park there. What the heck? It's cool. It's all good. I was telling my wife, you know what would be really entertaining is if I got stuck out the weekend before Christmas, because, that's always cool. So we'll see what happens. That's on my radar. I kind of look for these things. And with where I have no idea where in Virginia, maybe West Virginia. If I could get on the other side of the Appalachian mountain range, as you can see where I'm at up here, if it decides to focus that yellow triangle, there we go. So I'm pretty far into Pennsylvania. So, and they say it's somewhere in Virginia, which is south of me, but I could end up going, who knows, somewhere over here. Maybe it's really West Virginia. If I could get that, I would be grateful. Because then, 64, that's my favorite highway, because that goes right by my house. So, we'll see what happens. That's enough chatter for now. We'll see how long these people stay parked here, and how long I stay parked here. Later. Change of plans again. I'm at Love's, so I loves me some changes of plans. Last message I got was head to a truck stop, but I was already here. And I suppose that means I'm not rescuing anybody, and I would hope that I would get load information tonight, because I would hate to wake up at, I don't know, 5 in the morning tomorrow and not have anything, not have anywhere to go and have to wait for load information. So I always like to know ahead of time, because this way I can start my day when I would like to, versus I'm going to start it, my truck. I typically start my day same time. So if they're going to wait, then it's these precarious situations that make me wish and hope that I get a load assignment tonight. As you can see, there's some more anonymous trucks parked right next to the scale curb. And it could be deceiving, but it's less than a truck length away, and there's I think a truck getting ready to pull out. So trucks have been having a doozy of a time pulling in and out with vehicles in those locations in front of me. They are both from the same company, both from the same anonymous company, because completely anonymous. The one thing I do like is that lift axle on that flatbed. That would make pulling, turning sharp corners with that so much easier without wear and tear on your tires. And it actually stops wear and tear of the tires just driving down the road because they're in the air. I'm assuming that this trailer does the same thing. There's a driver there with his buddy. They fixed a light on their cab, and I'm not sure what they're doing now. I would check to make sure that the fifth wheel is connected, because you park in those locations and people are liable to pull your fifth wheel, because it's not nice. He had a little bit more room to pull out because the truck parked next to me is just the sorry, this is bad lighting. Oh, he already pulled out, so that space next to me is empty now. It looks like it's the corner of the mirror. There was just the truck without a trailer backed in there, so he probably had good room pulling out of there anyway. Anyway, that's it for tonight. We'll see what happens. Hopefully when you see me tomorrow, it's because I've actually picked up a load and I didn't have to sit here waiting to start my clock. So we'll see what happens.